This section is called Big Border, which is basically going to resize horizontal images into this canvas. It'll add a really thin border around it, which is great. It's kind of hard to see it. And then it'll add your own personal logo at the bottom. It'll resize the horizontal images to 855 pixels wide, including the white. And the horizontal images are going to be resized to 600 pixels wide from the top, including the white. To install the action, just simply go to the folder after you purchase the action. There's the action, and then we also provide 2 templates which are going to help us place the logo at the right place and the right size and basically set the action. We also give you a logo.png file which you're welcome to design your own logo. Now I recommend that you move all these files inside probably applications if you're on a Mac, and under maybe Photoshop, and you can basically put them anywhere. You can put them under preset and actions, and then you can throw all your actions within this folder, because the action is going to go and look for these logo right here that we provide within the action, and it's going to help you place this logo. So it's really important that we don't move this file. If not, the action will just not work. But let me just go ahead and show you how to set that up. Again, you can double click the ATM file, or you can open Photoshop and you can click on Windows, make sure they have the action palette on, and you can click right here to load the action. That's one way to load the action. I just like to double click and just load the action, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. There you'll see 2 actions, one for vertical and one for horizontal images. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and open the vertical image first, which is a template, and it'll have a guide in the middle just in case you want to place the logo in the middle and basically design your own logo. You know, just for this tutorial, I just kind of provide a template for you to kind of work on your own logo. So let's go ahead and set this vertical image. Just go ahead and highlight that, expand that, and go to place. Just expand place, and you're going to double click place, and you're going to go tell this action where to go find your logo. So go ahead and go find your logo if you remember where we put it at. Mine just happens to be on the desktop, so I'm just going to go ahead and just use this one. Okay. Now the action is recording all this information you can see at the bottom right here. So go ahead and resize it, move it. I'm going to hold shift so this logo stays in proportion. I'm going to move it around. If I really like it right there, I can just move it, resize it. Once I like it, once I click return, it'll basically finish recording this action. So that's kind of where I want that logo to be at. I just resize it, move it again. Right there is perfect. Okay. And then click return. Now the action is done and set. So it's going to go find that logo that we just put on the top at that specific location. Mine happens to be on the desktop. Yours just, you know, you can put it basically anywhere. Just as long as you set the action to go find that logo. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to go ahead and open the horizontal template. This one's going to help us work on the horizontal action. Go ahead and expand place, double click on place, and if you want to use the same logo, just go ahead and go find it. Photoshop should remember the location of the logo. Okay, you're going to resize it. Remember, the action is recording all this. You know, if you don't like it there, it's fine. You can basically put anywhere, basically anywhere you want it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and resize it, kind of move it around right there. And then I click return. Now those 2 actions are set. It's the actions, they know where to go find that logo. Okay, so I can just go ahead and close that. And I'm going to go ahead and open a vertical and horizontal images in Photoshop. I haven't resized these images. They're basically straight from the camera. Image size for this is 4256 by 2832 at 300 pixels per inch. Okay. This one is probably about the same, so 2832 by 4256. Okay, so I haven't resized this. Let's go ahead and play with this photo. After, I resize and I edit this photo, I want to resize and put that big border around it. All I got to do, I can run it from here. I can just highlight it and hit play, or I can just do it in button mode. If you don't like my colors, you can change that by just getting off button mode, double clicking it, basically picking a color. Okay, and you can change the name too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run the big border vertical. Now it resized my image to 600 pixels wide. And it added, all this space. It added the logo right there, right where I set the action to put the logo at. I also resized the logo too. And it added a really small border right there, up in the corner. It's gray, where I can basically choose what color I want that to be. I can just double click the stroke right here. Just go to your layer palette. If you can't see it, go to Windows, Layers to bring that palette forward. And you can just double click on the stroke, and I can basically change that color of the stroke. I can also zoom out, maybe zoom in just a little bit more. Say I want to pick a color off this trees, I can just double click the stroke, click right there, and I can basically pick a color. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually changing the color right here on the stroke. It's giving me a light preview right here. So I can basically pick whatever color I want. I like gray, so I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that. I can take the stroke out if I want to. I can just click right there and take it out. Now remember, this action basically brought all these elements, such as the image and the logo, and it basically on its own separate layer. So I can still move this if I want to, or I can just take it out if I really don't want that logo to be on that specific photo. I can also change the background. If I double click right here, again, I can change the background. I can pick a color, if I want to match it with anything in the photo. So this works well if you have color in this picture too. So, or you can just cancel and just leave it white. So again, once I can also move the image around. If I want to move it up, I can just go ahead and do that. Now, if I really like this and everything looks good, I can just go ahead and merge this. So if you're on an Apple, remember Apple Shift E will merge all the layers, and you're basically ready to go from here. So it's really easy to just kind of set that up on that action. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just close that and not save it. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with the horizontal image. It's going to basically do the exact same thing, but for horizontal images. Again, this image is 855 pixels wide by 600 pixels tall at 300 pixels per inch. And again, it added a border right there. And it added my logo, which is on a separate layer. Again, color for the background if I want to match, say right there. Maybe I just don't like that. I can just go ahead and play around with the background. Everything is on its own separate layer. Or I can just go ahead and click Apple Shift E and just merge everything together and just save that. So that's it. That's how you set the big border action set.